I think we are live. Hey, everybody. Tamara here, and we are doing our second quarter writing goals wrap up and then giving you a glimpse into the future of our third quarter, what we plan on doing. So say hi to the people while I tweet out this link.
Awesome. Oh, hi, people. So I'll tell you a bit about myself since I'm on Tamara's channel, which is not a place I usually hang out with, so you guys don't know me very well. I'm Amy Tasukada. I have 3 books out, and I do thrillers and romance. Both of them have relationships. The thriller one is like a mob series, which I find very thrilling and exciting. It takes place in Japan with Yakuza. And the romance one is between an erotic voice actor and an accountant, nerdy dude who is extremely fun. I give away a free short story of them every single month, and the link should be down below eventually. Or you can just go to my website, which is Amy Tasukada, TASUKADA.com, and it should be there. You can sign up and get a free story every month. Yeah. I think I've been doing this for like 2 years now, maybe a year and a half.
Oh my gosh. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
But it's been really great, at least for me. I hope it's been great for you too.
It's been nice for me as well, yes.
It helps to keep me on track. And
yes.
I don't know, it keeps me accountable. I know that I'm going to have to do this this video and talk about how I either failed or succeeded. There's definitely something about public shame and embarrassment. So there's that.
Oh, so true.
So I am still posting this link, but do you want to start talking about how your second quarter went?
It went really good. Let me pull up. I kept my Google Doc and have been making it. Oh, what's going on with my computer? It's going crazy. For once it's mine. It's because I have it on the same window. Oh my, here I am trying to get prepared. Okay, so on the yearly goals, I wanted to, I was going to the Spartan Summit, which I went, and I was really excited. It seems like so far away now because that happened in like April or May. But I went, and I had an awesome time, and I connected with like everybody was connected with, and it was really just an awesome time. I went and connected with people that I didn't know, and they were all like really friendly. As far as some was put on by like the self-publishing podcast people, and it was in Austin, which was really close, and I'm excited. I'm going next year. Like that was one of my I'm gonna go. So they were nice. I liked going. I learned so much, and even if like at the time I only had 1 book out, everybody was extremely friendly and all that stuff. Another second quarter goal I had was to put up Better Than Suicide, which is the second in my Inclusive Path series, and that was up. It did really well. There was a time where I had like the second one free and then the first one for 99 cents, and it made the second one free, got on the 100 top free list on Amazon. I think it got to like 60 something, maybe, or 93. I think it got to 93, and it got on like #1 for like organized crime and gay detective stories, because that one's kind of more of a mystery. So that was fun. To see it go. I mean, I felt like I did like no writing that day. It was like, I'm just gonna hit refresh over and over and over, which is not productive at all. Let's just face it, that's not productive. And then I think another goal I had was to get the book, Would It Be Okay to Love You, at like a good place. I said in my notes, it needs to be a good place. It's at a good place. It's not it's almost done. I have like 1 more week to edit, and I'm gonna send it off to like beta readers and the last stitch, and then just to make sure for like repeated words and stuff, because I don't want to be repeating myself so much. And then that gets shipped away to them, and then it gets edited. So I have a bunch of stuff happening in the future, but we'll talk about that when we go to future things. How has it been for you?
Well, for me, it was hit and miss as per usual. Um, I went home this summer and I go home every summer to West Virginia to hang out with family and friends. And this summer was there was a lot of family things that came up. So at one point there was, I don't know, there was just a lot of illness and just it was a rough summer. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted to get done, which sucked. Um, but you'll have that, you know. So I didn't really get much accomplished in terms of my goals for this quarter.
Oh, Tamara, I hate to interrupt you, but I don't think the YouTube work is link is working for people, and then if it is, then we're just talking to ourselves. And then when I click the link isn't working, I think because it kicked you off that chat, it didn't start a new one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because Amira wanted to see it, so she's like, it's not working. And then when I click on it, it's out YouTube. So
No. What is up? Let me see. Well, hmm.
yeah, let's just. I guess we could just start a new one and just whatever you do with the YouTube side. Because when I look at your YouTube, it does have like a thing for it, but then it says it's not available. But
Oh.
that's from like 2 hours ago when you
Oh.
thought
So
you were
it
doing
didn't.
something
It
and you
didn't
had the wrong
just.
time.
What?
Yeah, because I think we'd have to go back to, I don't know. I think we'd have to go back to that same chat window, like that same first link, because that was to get it to work.
Oh, that's dead. It's
Okay.
it's not even available for me to access
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, then I guess you need to start a new YouTube thing.
All right, well, this will be the third one. All right.
Well, I'll see you in a few seconds then. Send me the link when you got it.
I'm going to restart my computer and all right.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me and everything?
Yeah. Success
I
again.
don't know what the hell's going on, all right? I don't know what's going on. Because before I had restarted my computer, it didn't show me that this thing was still happening. And then
Huh.
when I just looked at it, it said that this one was still open.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe we should have tried 2 hours
Hi.
ago.
Oh my god.
We should have started and just kept the channel open.
Y'all, Tamara here. We're live. We've been having technical difficulties out of the wazoo. The first one was a user error because apparently I don't know how time zone works, and I was ready to start this broadcast like 3 hours early. And from there, I guess Google decided that it was having issues, and here we are. My name's Tamara. This is my channel.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all probably didn't hear anything that we talked about before.
No, they wouldn't hear anything we talked about. Why don't you send out all the links and I will introduce myself since people don't know me on your channel.
Of course, because that's what we do here.
Yay! Okay, hi everyone. I'm Amy Tasukada. I write thrillers and romance. My thrillers are about the Japanese mob, which was extra super fun because I really like them. And then romance is about an erotic voice actor and a Gundam obsessed nerdy accountant dude and their relationship together. It's really fun. Both stories have relationships in it because that's just what I like to write. I actually give away the free story every single month, and the link to that is on my website, which is Amy Tasukada, spelled like it is down there, which is very handy. .com. Free stories every single month delivered in your inbox. It's like I'm knocking on your door and saying, "Here, have some boys kissing." What more could you want? I mean, I would be okay with that if someone did that. More authors should do that for me.
I just think that would be hilarious. Instead of, like, a Jehovah's Witness going around knocking on doors in the neighborhood, it would be authors knocking on doors. Here's a book about boys kissing.
Oh, that sounds fun. I could say there's certain political people I would want to be like, here, you should read this book and get some empathy. But we won't talk about that. Today's an angry day for me.
I just want a day where I wake up and I look at Twitter and things are fine. Things are just fine.
Things are fine.
No big deal. Everything's okay. Okay. I don't even have big expectations. Just okay.
Just okay. Yeah.
Here's a link that actually works, everyone.
Yes, it's working. I can see ourselves chatting and talking and everything. Okay, do you want to go over your goals first, or do you want me to go over mine for the last quarter?
You can go over yours and I'll go over mine.
Okay, you're so nice letting me go first. Okay, I have a handy Google Doc, which I know where it's at now. So during the second quarter, I wanted to go to the Sword Art Summit, which happened in May, which seems like it's like a million years ago. It does seem a million years ago, but it was really nice. Everybody was really friendly, and they all knew me before I went there. Does that make sense? I don't know. They were all very friendly. Even though I didn't go last year, I felt very welcome into the community, even if I just had one book. And it was I don't know, it was so much different than any other writer conferences I went to. So if you have a chance to go, I super highly recommend going if you're into this whole authorness thing. And I also wanted to put up my second book, which is Better Than Suicide, and it was really, really good. I did a free day with it, which was where I put the first book free. No, I'm sorry, I did the second book free, and I did the first one at 99 cents, and I got the second book into the top 100 free books in all of Amazon. It was 90 something, which was so cool. I joined if you go on Kboards, there's a thriller writer newsletter swap, and like every month it differs from like 99 cents to free, and they go flip-flop every month, and it's kind of like just a big way to get a bunch of authors to email their mailing list. So I did that, and that was one thing that helped with that whole big bump, and some other things too. And then something else I wanted to do last quarter was get the book I'm working on now, which is Whatever You Okay to Love You, which is the novelization of that romance couple about how they first met, which was so much harder than write than it sounded. Because in my head, they're already together, and in this book, I was like putting them together, and I'm like, just go make out already or something. But I couldn't, like, I had to save that until like the end, which is harder than you think, harder than I thought it would be. And so my idea was to get it at a good place, and it's at a very good place now. And I'll talk about where exactly and future plans of that when we go to our future goals. So I'm at a very good, happy place with my goals because I'm such a goal person.
And that comes to me where I did not have the best goal time this summer, but that happens. Every year I go and visit my family, and this year it was just a rough time. So let's see. I had planned on developing a promotion strategy for blood races and honeysuckles. I didn't actually write anything down, but I did a lot of planning. So the next step is to actually write it down and then initiate it, and starting in August. I was doing the ABCs of writing on my blog. That totally puttered out. And I did Camp NaNoWriMo in April, and that was part of my plan, and I did do that, and I think I reached my goal. I can't quite remember. And I was supposed to do a rough draft of my novella. I did not do that, but I do have a good idea of what it's going to take to make it and to write it. So I don't think that it's going to take me a long time to write it once I get down to it. And I wanted to do more with #WriteStuff, which is our writing group that meets on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Twitter, and we also have a Facebook page, and that information is listed in the description. And I feel like we've been more active in the group, and there's been more interaction. We've been talking more about goals. We do a weekly goal check-in, which I feel has been really effective, and it's helped me. So that's good.
Yeah.
So I've been doing well with the weekly goals, but just these overarching goals haven't been as good. But it's going to get better.
Good.
So let's see. How many people are watching? Do we have anyone has chatted in the YouTube space?
We got some hellos from people, which is always nice. Say hello. How was your goals, people out there who are listening? How are they?
Yeah, have y'all made any goal? Did you guys make any goals for the second quarter, or have you made any for the third quarter that you're planning on working on? Let us know in the chat, or if you're on Twitter, you can send us a tweet at #WriteStuff, and we'll be checking that as well. That hashtag, because that's where we live.
So how are I think when we talk about goals, I know like I achieve mine, so I'm always very happy. But even when I don't achieve mine, I try to not beat myself up about it, you know, because I think I want it to be. I wish the book I'm writing now was already finished, but I still have like a week of editing with it. So I'm trying not to beat myself up about it. How do you handle when your goals go differently than you want them to?
Well, I guess it depends on what makes my goals go left. If it's things that I can't really control, then I mean, you know, I can't. I used to really beat myself up for anything, regardless of whether I could control it or not. But I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser, and there's enough things that will totally kick me in the butt without me making it worse for myself. So if it's things that I can't control, if it's things that happen that add up to that catastrophe of lack of work, then so be it. However, if it's my fault, if it was my bad, if it was just me being lazy or procrastinating to infinity and beyond, then I have to get myself in check. I often rely on people like Amy to be like, Tamara, I'm going to pitch you if you don't just edit your book.
Yeah, I did that too, because you're like, she's been talking about this book forever, and I'm like, just go put it out there. And she's like, I think I'm gonna do one more round of editing. I'm like, no. Just put it out there. Stop it. Let go of the red pen. Go. I think I read an interesting article, and I'll share the link in a few minutes, but it talked about how authors and artists don't quite get they don't have a good perception of what they write is good or not. Like Kurt Vonnegut novels, and one of them that did really well and was very commercially successful, he rated a D, and one of them that was like a flop, as much as a flop Kurt Vonnegut novels could be, but he gave it an A. So, and then same thing with musicians and like Mozart and stuff, they would see work that was good be different than what other people perceived. So that's something else to think about.
Are you trying to tell me something, Amy?
Well, I know after my first book, I think I spent like an extra 2 months editing it when I'm like, that was just stupid. I'm going with this whole percent happy, and then I'm good. Like I don't have to make it 100% happy. And 85, I'm like, that's where I'm good. 85% good amount of happiness for it. Can stop there.
Yeah, I definitely think that my problem has been perfectionism that's been disguised as procrastination, you know, which once we get into next quarter goals, I'm finally making actual deadlines, people, actual for real deadlines that I'm going to announce here and be talking about it on my channel and on my blog and in the newsletter and on Facebook and just wherever, so everyone can just hold me accountable, hold my feet to the fire. I'm ready for this book to be out there, and I'm ready to start on the next book and the novellas and all the other projects that I have. And because that's the problem with getting stuck on the one project. Can't move forward, and for me, it feels like I can't work on anything else until I get this thing put to bed. So it's taking up a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. You know, I gotta get this stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's so much easier after you get like the first one out and the second one out. Like you can just be like, it's good enough, and just get it out there. I don't know. I know the second book was much easier, and this third one, I'm just like, just fix these things and don't worry about those extra 2 verbs. No one's gonna care. Or like, I mean, granted, I'm trying to avoid what I'm writing, but I'll do like, oh look, those 2 paragraphs, they'll start with the same like word. Like that's not that big of a deal. I don't think a reader's gonna sit there and be like, I hate this book now. The person said the person's name twice at the beginning of the paragraphs. How can they even do that? I don't think anybody else besides writer even like I would pick up on it if I was reading it. I'd be like, but I don't think like a reader would. And I'm not trying to please other writers. I'm trying to please other readers. You know, so
that makes sense. So Amara Lynn over on Twitter says, my goal is to finish a short story and submit it to a collection call at the end of July. Draft done, doing final edits. Woo-hoo!
Yay!
Excellent goal. Good luck to you. I'm positive you can do it.
Oh, and if you're on the feed, I'm going to post the link there. Just FYI. But you can list and read drafts. Oh, it doesn't like me. Never mind. I'll post it later. I'll give it to Tamara and she'll post in the notes.
I'll put it down in the description so everyone can check it out. And I'll put it in the right stuff too.
Yeah, it doesn't like me posting things. I am not official enough to post links. It's decided.
I don't know if it lets anyone post links, actually.
Oh, I probably would let you post links because you're magical. And it's your channel.
Sorry,
my cat.
I feel that this is so true. We are blind to if our own stuff is good. Yeah.
Nope. Hi, cat.
And I've been, working with that for years. The whole self-doubt. Is this good? Is it not good? I don't know. And there's times when I really have to give myself a space of a long time to go back and then look at it and say, oh, this is pretty decent. Like the poems that are in my collection, Shaping of a Angry Black Woman, available on Amazon if anyone likes poetry.
It's really good. I read it.
Thank you. But I was looking through it the other day when I was home visiting. Someone asked me to read one of the poems, and I feel like a lot of the poetry does really work better when it's read out loud. And I might do a spoken word album. I'm not sure, but that's a thought that I'll probably address in the fourth quarter or the first quarter of next year. Anyway, but I read it out loud, and afterwards I thought, did I write that? That's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I don't know. I'm being bad because I don't reread my stuff that much. Like, trying to think. Like, I gave my beta group B, like, they got like the fourth draft of something, and they made comments on it. And then I'm rewriting like the fifth draft now. And the stuff that the chapters that they said were fine, I'm not even rereading those. I'm like, okay, they're good. I'm not looking. So that's another one of those, like, I'm happy with that. I'm like, can't even remember what's kind of in the chapters, but guess what? That means I'm 100% happy with them because the beta team said nothing about it. Good enough for me.
How many? You have 2 beta teams?
Yeah, well, beta team A is just like one person. I feel so horrible for her because she gets like the lamest draft ever. So what happens is I write the draft really quickly. I say it's like vomit. It's like horrible. I basically, like, here's the outline, and the outline's really narrow. And basically, I get the outline. I just put the dialogue and I write the story. It's horrible. I'm just trying to get it out as fast as I can. That way I have something to edit, and then I'll spend like a day or two on the chapter, and then I'll give it to team A, so they're working on chapters 1 and 2, and they write their comments. This one person who gets the horrible vomit, and slightly cleaned up vomit. It's just like plain and ordinary. And then from their comments, I give it to the second team. So I'm working on. So then team B is working on chapters 1 and 2, and then team A already sent chapter 3 and 4. So then once all that's compiled, then I'll go back and like fix everything like beta team B says, and then give that to a copy editor to edit, and then I get everything back, and then I'll copy edit all, and then send it to one last beta team just to make sure it's not like you said they bite their tongue 13 times, which is something I did a lot in this novel. So then they can tell me that, and then I publish it. Well, after proof, because I don't know, I'm bad with mistakes, so.
So you have beta A, which is one person, and then beta B, which is a few people, and then you have your editor.
Then I have my editor who does the proof, yeah. And then I usually can get one more person at the end of that, 1 or 2 more people, depending, and then I have a final proofreader, just because I'm like horrible at checking like any of my grammar and spelling mistakes, just personally, and I just want to make sure that I get most of them out, and yeah.
What is that? Someone had mentioned in the Right Stuff group an app that was for helping like catch grammar and stuff, and it wasn't Grammarly.
Oh, there's a few of them I've heard of,
Let me
but I
see.
can't remember.
It was one that I haven't used before, but she swears by it, and she said that once she started using it, it like literally changed her writing life.
Oh.
So it's something that I'm gonna check into. I want to look more into it. And, you know, I'd like to have my writing life totally changed. That's cool.
Yeah,
Because
and I think there's one that they'll check for repeated words too, because I remember it being mentioned at one of my writer group meetings, but I like didn't pay attention because I'm like, okay, I have someone I hire for that. I don't want
writing aid. That's what it's called.
There we go.
Because I'm not going to be hiring another editor. I'll be sending things in. Well, this is part of my plan.
Okay. Should we just go dive into plans for the future?
Maybe we should just, yeah, let's just dive into the plans for the future. So, as I was checking out our last video, Amy had said, Tamara, you should put stuff in Google Docs. And I was like, that's a great idea. And then I didn't. So this time around, I put it in Google Docs and then I printed it out. I'm not going to go through everything, but what I've done here is written things out and then put in actionable, and then each actionable step has a deadline.
Oh,
Revolutionizing my world, people.
You should also like give up something. Like if you don't make it, you can't. I don't know. Drink tea. That would work for me.
For me, it'd be like caffeinated beverage period.
Yeah, if you don't make your deadline, no caffeine for a week.
That would suck. Oh, you are terrible. So my plan is to finish my personal revisions for Blood Roses and Honeysuckles by August, and then the very next day I'm going to send the revision to my betas, which will be August 6th. So if anyone out there is checking this out and you want to be part of my beta group, let me know and I will put you in there. So, and then there's other things, blah, 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 blah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go through each step. I don't think that you guys are that interested. But plan for Blood Roses and Honeysuckles, published by end of quarter, which is September 30th.
Yeah.
So by September 30th, it will be on Amazon.
Now, if she doesn't do it, we all need to take away every single caffeine drink she has.
Yeah, you have to yell at me. You have to send me mean emails. Yeah. Tweet at me with frowny faces.
Yes.
And like shaking your head gifts and all of it. So that's one thing. Another thing is the Appalachian Terror Trail. I'll be posting the paperback version and its accompanying coloring book on October 13th, which is a Friday. Oh my goodness. Could I have created something better? No. So Friday the 13th in October, that's when the paperback and the adult coloring book will be available. So that's exciting. And I will be doing Project WriteTube again. And for this quarter, I'm going to be finding the people, arranging things, and getting it happening. If you're not familiar, Project WriteTube is a project where there's 12 authors who are on the YouTube platform who give tips all throughout the month of October that relate to NaNoWriMo and just a writer's life in general. It's really fun. It gets you involved with new authors and we get to meet each other and chat and it's good. It's just good. It's a good fun time. And yeah, so get pumped. This year is going to be a little different and I'm excited.
Yay. She was telling me about the plans and it's very exciting. So it's just not just Tamara being excited. I am excited too. I just have a cat on my lap, so I can't be like extra excited. She hopped on here and recorded. Can I like do? Oh, that was a meow. Oh, she got mad at me. I tried to pick her up to show you guys, and she's just like meow. I'm like, okay.
She's like, human, I don't want to be on the camera thingy. Stop it,
I
human.
showed her for a little bit. She's so cute.
She is super cute. So let's see. Is there anything else I can mention? And I'm going to start the whole novella process. And, oh, that's right. I got this book, How to Write a Novella in 24 Hours by Andrew Main. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to read it.
Tell me what you think about that.
Yeah.
Because I have some news which is very similar to, I don't know, I also have novellas, things I need to write. I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. Tell me what you think of the book when you're finished, or tell everybody.
I definitely will. I'm going to do some type of video thing about it, because I'm fascinated by the idea of writing a novella in 24 hours. That would really help me a lot in terms of productivity.
Yeah. I feel like
some book ideas that definitely would work better as novellas than as long form. So
yeah, I can see in a week. I don't know. I wrote the rough draft for the Yakuza 3 this quarter, and I did that in like 5 days. And then, it's a horrible rough draft. Like, I would not put it out there. I would not show people it. And then I wrote something else, which is like the year 2. I don't know. Like I said, I have like year 1, which is the short story series. I say that every single month. I have the second year worth, and I wrote the rough draft for those in about a week too. But again, they're like vomit rough drafts. So I hope maybe his is not vomity rough drafts, because horrible. I don't know. My rough drafts are bad, and I'm okay with that. But I know some people might not like that. But that's what I have to do. I have to, because the blank. The white page bugs me a lot. Like when I was writing this novella, like it took me so long to get started, even just the rough draft. But then I realized like I would put some like gibberish text that I was going to throw away below where I was technically at. So then there was stuff on the bottom. So I wasn't seeing like I already had something to write. Like there was stuff below. So it was easier to write, even though it was this gibberish that I was going to throw away. But it made it easier to write the rough draft.
Well, you do like the revision part of everything better.
Oh my God. So much.
About before.
So much.
You like to be able to go in and do maintenance on stuff that's already there.
Yes. I want to make it pretty. So
I like the blank page. To me, the blank page is just like open to possibilities.
Oh, that was my outline. It had all the possibilities. And now it's in my outline, and now it can't be changed. So I know some people are like, you can change the outline. I'm like, no, everything's interconnected. I think I changed one thing from this outline because I had like a luncheon with a friend, and I just talked. I bought her lunch, and I made her listen to me tell the story. And I think her only suggestion was to change a cat. Like if I had a dog in a scene, she was like, make it a cat. I'm like, okay. So that was like the only thing that changed in the drafts. And this draft, this outline to the rough draft was, there was a cat dog switch, which didn't mean anything really.
So do you want to talk about your plans for the third quarter?
Sure. You can see the cat there. There you go. She just fell jumping in the window. Oh my. She's a failure as a cat. She can't. Oh my. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, so what do I do? I joined like 2 writer groups. I joined like the Romance Writers of America, and then like a crime group, which is, I think is funny because they do like, it's a crime mystery group, but I don't think anybody else writes in the viewpoint of the criminals. So I feel like I'm like a big outsider. Like, I don't know, like everybody else is like, bad guys defeated. I'm like, the bad guys need to make sure they don't get in jail. I don't know what you're talking about. So I like, we had someone talk, like someone who worked with the police. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Like, you do this so like people avoid getting into jail and all that stuff. So that was kind of fun. But you know, if you write from the if you write organized crime fiction, that's what you gotta like the cops are the bad guys. So and everybody else, the cops are the good guys. They're just like, nah, they're all corrupt. They're all corrupt. They'll find any excuse to lock you up. At least in Japan, they have these strange anti-yakuza laws, and I know them all now. But anyway, on specific, let's see. Oh, what did I reach? Okay, sorry. There you go. I was looking at the wrong document. Okay, I want to get the year 1 stories, which are already finished. I just need to like push them all together, and then I'm gonna have them out for anybody who missed them. They're gonna be in a book that you can buy. It's gonna be just an ebook for now, and then next year I'm gonna add an extra story and then make a paper copy. But right now it's just gonna be an ebook, and that's gonna come out in August, late August, mid to late August. And then the book about how the couple met for Would It Be Okay to Love You is going to be in September. So I basically wrote the series backwards. So the third one's already published. The second one's going to be published before the first one is. So I did a whole 3, 2, 1. And yeah, that's okay. We're going to fix it up in September. It's going to be all fixed and no one's going to know what happened. So
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. It worked if you join my mailing list in October, it made total sense. But if you didn't, then you're like, what's going on? That's okay. That's okay. And then I'm very happy. I was asked I'm in an online critique group. We do fiction, and some of them wanted to get together and do an anthology and for the holidays. Mine's more of a New Year story. So they're like, Amy, let's go do this. Wouldn't it be fun? And one of them listens to my videos. She saw me talking about how I kind of want to do this, but I don't know if I have time. And she's like, go ask them now, because she might decide to do something else. Go ask now. So then they asked me. I'm like, sure, I'll write this novella. I didn't have plans. So that's going to come out in November.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I have to write a 5 to 10K novella in a few months. And then I also, which I just have the rough draft done for Yakuza 3, my plan is to have that out in December. So yeah, if I am taking photos of my cat online, you need to tell me I should be writing, not taking photos of my cat. And I also need to write the year 2 stories, because those I only have until September, and then there's no more free short story every month. So I need to get on that too. I have the rough draft for them written. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to write until January, and then I'm like, okay, now work on the other stuff. And then when January happens, I'll finish the rest of the rough drafts for them. But it's really hectic this next bit. I'm basically publishing something every day, every month, except for October.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll be publishing something in September and in October, and then a couple months off. And then we'll be starting with I have a plan for a novella, for 2 novellas for the first quarter, and then the #Write Stuff anthology, which again, #Write Stuff is our writing group that meets on Twitter every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where writers talk about writing. Every month we have a different theme, and the chat goes along with that. And we're going to do a free ebook, a collection of short stories and flash fiction. And really, you just have to be a part of the group to submit something. And my plan is for people who enjoy doing covers, someone to do a cover, someone who likes to do formatting and all that, and it'll just be free for whoever
Good
wants it.
exposure to get people to sign up for your mailing list. You just put a link in the back of your section, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So, oops. Video. Start with me.
I think your video went away, Tamara.
I know.
But you're back now, so you're good.
Anyway, so if you're interested and you want to be a part of the anthology, you definitely should join the FB group. The link will be down in the description. And so that's one thing. And then if you're into poetry, I'm going to be doing a poetry anthology for the Reverie Journal, which is my online poetry journal. This will be the second volume. This one's going to have a theme with President Trump's first year. And so the poetry that will be published is going to be reflections upon that first year, whether it's poetry that happened while the year was happening or as a reflection over the entire year in general. And it's not, I'm not making this left or right leaning. It's going to be whatever you believe, you talk about it. And yeah, so that's going to be happening next year also. Two anthologies that I'm going to be working on that'll be published next year.
Those don't count. It's not part of this quarter.
Yeah, but
You're
for this quarter, I'm going to be things for people to start submitting.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, then I guess you could talk about this quarter. Because I'm like, I have all these other books I have planned. I'm like, I'm not talking about them yet. I'm just kind of, I'm like looking at these like novella, book. Guess what? You have a break in October, it should like not die. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, with the anthology, since I'm working with other people, you got to start early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're at your deadline. You're like, oh, I've got 3 stories, and that's it.
I know with ours, I think we have to submit it in October, and then we're gonna do like everybody's gonna like read each other's book, like each other's little stories, and critique it. So I don't know. I'm still kind of like, I'm just want to get this draft for. I have like 1 more week of this draft for the romance book, and then I'm like, just spend all your day writing, Amy. From then on, I don't know. I have like, I don't know what it was. I think I just don't. I just have like the like big eyes, like just you have no time to worry. Just type.
I think that I'm supposed to be writing for an anthology, but I think the anthology is going to be published in November.
Did you just remember?
Yeah. Oh no! I gotta find out what the draft is due. Watch as Tamara totally remembers things and then has a meltdown.
I will say that Google Calendar I found is really convenient for keeping track of things like that. If anybody wants a tool to help them remember when their deadline is, that's a good way to do it. Just one author's advice to anybody out there who might need it.
Anybody who might need it.
Google Calendar, because I got the app on my phone, and then it's also on the computer, so I can like move things around. I also keep track of like how long to like edit certain things, because usually when I have a deadline up, it's with the copy editor, and I have to get her like. I get her like 2 or 3 months in advance. So I'm like, this is the date. And she's like, okay. And I like, gotta keep it. So I'm like, if it's done, then when I give it to her, that's just the way it is. So, and I had some stuff last month. So that's why I feel like I'm doing this separate extra week of edits, or else I wouldn't have done that. And I would have went directly to like a beta, just like one beta test at the very end. Just for like repeated phrases and stuff.
So, what's this app?
Google Apps? Google Calendar?
Does Google Calendar send alerts to cell phones still?
You can, but I turned off the notifications because I think it's annoying.
I haven't turned it off, but I also haven't been receiving any notices.
I turned mine off because I don't like to hear the alarm. Because usually I'll set like the dates to write, like, and it's like all day I'm writing. I don't need a notification that all day I need to be writing chapter 8. You know, I just need to look at the calendar. It says chapter 8.
I understand that.
Yeah, I think and I think on the online calendar, like if you use your computer, you can fine tune it a bit more, but then it syncs with my phone. Sometimes I have to like make it sync, and it works fairly well. Just for me, because I got a lot of things going on now, and I'm just like, I can't think.
Yeah, I actually do use Google Calendar. I just hadn't, I don't know. When we were talking about this anthology, it was around April or May.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And I didn't actively think about it until you started talking about your anthology. And I was like, this sounds familiar. Do I have
anthologies?
Oh, great.
Oh, what is it? Also, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a writing retreat, which sounds extremely exciting. A bunch of the local romance authors are getting together. We're going to go to like a bed and breakfast and all spend a weekend writing, which sounds very fun. And I always like, I don't know, my main goal is like just to do whatever the romance authors are doing because they know what they're doing. I mean, granted, I guess I'm technically a romance author. I forget about that sometimes when I write all my, because like the romance stuff is so much harder for me to write because I'm like, I can't make them angry and like punch someone. And with the mob guys, I'm like, anger, just punch someone. It's okay. You can kill them.
It's fine.
You can deserve it. It's fine. You're crazy. I think that's a good excuse because I'm like, you're crazy. And I always feel bad because I'm like, it's okay. You had a hard life because obviously like good people don't join the mob. So they're going to be bad people. So I can just make them go like super crazy. Like, and it's so much easier to like elevate the situation. Like, and the first chapter I have, the people are like jealous because the guy got like a cushy secretary job because they think he slept with the boss and they didn't. But so they just get angry and they're like, we're just gonna beat you up because we're just mad at you because you got a cushy job because you didn't do anything. And then one of them like pulls out a knife because I'm like, it's okay, you're crazy.
It's okay, that's fine.
You're okay, you're a mob guy. You're like, I'm so pissed I'm gonna pull out a knife and stab you.
I can see where that wouldn't work in most romance.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that. There's like no, I mean, someone breaks a leg in the romance book, and that's like as far as I can get. And it wasn't on purpose; they just like slipped. So that's as far as I can like have someone get injured.
Well, I mean, you could push it.
I can, but then I think like, oh, if you punch, like if this guy was hitting on his boyfriend, I'm like, you could punch him. Like, but I think if that happened to me, I'd be like, why is he suddenly violent? I don't want to be with someone who punches people. So, you know.
Yeah, if it doesn't really work with their character, then
yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I don't want to, I think that's something with like MF romance. There's a lot of like the dude being very like alpha-y, maybe because those are just the only ones I read. And I just don't like that. There's nothing to prove your manliness when there's two guys because it's like you're just both guys. It's okay. You don't have to. We trust that you're both guys. Yeah, it's okay.
Let's see. Has anyone chatted with us?
No, they're dying because my cat can't get into a window correctly. she can't, like, literally she'll sit below, like, here's the ledge of the window, and she'll sit below the window staring out at it. Like, yeah. She doesn't hop in the window. She does occasionally, but she'll like mostly just sit below the window and look out. like on the ground, not in the window, on the ground looking out the window.
Kitty.
I don't know
Poor kitty.
where she learned how to like, and she can't like open blinds, so like half the blinds in our apartment are open because the cat can't get around them. She fails as a cat. I don't know.
Aww. So she's adorable, so it's okay.
Until she meows and is like, I want to get in this room. Why are you in this room, Amy? What are you doing? I have to see.
All right. We should
Like,
probably, we've been chatting for about an hour. I think.
yes.
I'm not even
Should we
sure.
get, well, I think we ran out of topics. We're discussing the finer points about how my cat fails. So,
So the end of the third quarter is September 30th. And we will reconvene sometime in October
yeah.
and do this again.
Okay.
And I'm sure it'll be on a Wednesday. It'll be around the same time. And we'll announce it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if you haven't met Amy before, her links will be down in the description. Definitely check her out. And go over and subscribe to her channel. She's very cool. She talks about fashion and tea and Yakuza.
Yeah, I also talk about my books and then some fashion-y things. My cat usually makes an appearance because she decides that she needs to know what's going on with me because
Sorry, y'all.
cats are like that. I don't know. I never had a cat. Like, if I use the restroom, she gets horribly, like, anxious and thinks I'm drowning and has to claw at the door and, like, put her paw underneath and meow. I'm like, I'm okay, cat. I need some privacy. Please leave me alone.
Yeah. The door is closed.
The door's closed.
Totally wrong.
Something's wrong with you, Amy. You're going to drown in there. I'm like, cat. Cat, I'm okay.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
And again, my name is Tamara. This is my channel where I talk about writing and books.
Yes.
And tomorrow I'm going to do a live stream. I will be doing a writing for Camping Nanaimo. So if you're a writer and you want to write stuff with me, come and check me out. It'll be around, let's see, that would be 1 p.m. Hawaii time, which would be 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're available, come check me out.
And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.